The 5 francs 1971 coin from the French Republic, République Française, is one of the most emblematic pieces of modern French numismatics, representing both the nation's cultural identity and its post-war industrial modernization. Issued under the motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, the coin captures the spirit of the French Republic and the values born from the Revolution of 1789. The 5 franc denomination had been a standard in French currency since the late 18th century, but the version minted in 1971 belongs to the Hercules series, a design created originally by Augustin Dupré in 1795 for the early Republic. This modern coin, however, was struck in nickel, not silver, as part of the transition away from precious metal coinage in everyday circulation during the late 1960s and 1970s. Measuring 31 millimeters in diameter and weighing 10 grams, the coin was produced by the Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, which is one of the world's oldest continuously operating mints. On the obverse, front, side, the design features a classical depiction of Hercules standing at the center, symbolizing strength and unity. On his right stands Liberty, draped and wearing a Phrygian cap, representing freedom from tyranny, and on his left stands Equality, holding a level, symbolizing fairness and justice among citizens. Around a trio are inscribed the famous Republican ideals, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, and at the bottom appears the denomination, 5 francs, with the date, 1971 beneath it. The reverse, back, typically displays a wreath of agricultural symbols such as wheat, olive branches, and oak leaves, representing peace, productivity, and endurance, values important to France during a period of modernization and European integration. Historically, the 5 francs nickel coin replaced the large silver 5 francs pieces of earlier decades, making it more practical for circulation during the economic expansion known as the Trente Glorieuses, the 30 years of post-war prosperity between 1945 and 1975. By 1971, France was modernizing its coinage system, aligning with the decimal-based system that had existed since Napoleon's reforms, but now adopting modern materials and minting techniques. The 5 francs Hercules coin remained in use until France adopted the euro in 2002, when it was demonetized along with all franc denominations. Nevertheless, the coin's imagery continued to hold symbolic weight. Hercules in the center of liberty and equality represents the strength that binds the Republic's foundational principles together. The design also conveys unity across social classes and genders, portraying France as a nation built on shared civic virtue. Collectors value the 1971 issue mainly for its historical significance rather than rarity, since millions were minted and circulated widely across the country. However, coins in uncirculated or proof condition can attract moderate collector interest, particularly those produced at the Paris Mint with the cornucopia mint mark, the traditional symbol of abundance used by the Monnaie de Paris. While the intrinsic metal value of the nickel is low, its symbolic and aesthetic value remains high. Many numismatists appreciate the design as a bridge between classical and modern French coinage art. The Hercules motif was revived multiple times throughout French history, during the First Republic, the Second Republic, and later under the Fifth Republic, emphasizing continuity in Republican iconography. In the broader cultural sense, the Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité motto itself is more than decoration. It represents the moral backbone of France, engraved on public buildings, schools, and coins alike. During the 1970s, when this coin circulated, France was redefining its role in a globalizing world, balancing modernization with Republican tradition. The coin thus served as a tangible expression of national identity, carried in the pockets of millions of citizens. Today, collectors and historians see the 5 francs 1971 coin not merely as currency, but as a small, enduring artifact of the ideals and artistry that define modern France, a perfect example of how numismatics preserves both economic and philosophical heritage. The next top. The République Française, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, 5 francs 1972 coin is one of the most emblematic pieces of modern French numismatics, representing both the continuation of a long monetary tradition and the transition of France into the modern industrial and post-colonial era. Issued by the French Republic, République Française, this coin belonged to the series of 5 franc pieces minted between 1960 and 2001, prior to France's full adoption of the euro currency in 2002. The inscription Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, the French national motto meaning liberty, equality, brotherhood, reflects the enduring ideals of the French Revolution of 1789, which profoundly shaped not only France's political identity, but also the democratic ideals of modern Europe. The year 1972 sits within a period of economic modernization under President Georges Pompidou, a time when France sought to balance industrial growth with its strong cultural and historical legacy. The coin's obverse, front side, typically features the image of La Semeuse, or the sower, a female figure sowing seeds into the wind. This design was originally created by Oscar Rodi, a French sculptor and medalist, at the end of the 19th century and had already appeared on silver coins of the Third Republic before being revived for the new franc after 1960. La Semeuse symbolizes fertility, progress, and the nurturing of the nation's future, representing the Republic's spreading prosperity and enlightenment. She wears a Phrygian cap, the classical emblem of liberty used since the Roman era and adopted by the French revolutionaries as a symbol of freedom from tyranny. Her dynamic posture, with one foot stepping forward and her arm outstretched, conveys France's confidence in progress and modernity, a theme that remained deeply important during the rebuilding years after World War II. On the reverse side, the design includes the denomination 5 francs in large, bold letters, surrounded by a wreath of olive branches, oak leaves, and wheat ears, each carrying deep symbolic meaning: the olive branch for peace, the oak leaves for strength and endurance, and the wheat for agricultural prosperity. This triad of motifs, deeply rooted in French culture and rural tradition, reflects a balance between the agricultural and industrial worlds that defined France in the 20th century. The legend, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, encircles the motif, serving as a constant reminder of the Republican values that underpin French society. The date, 1972, is placed below, indicating its minting year during a time of growing European economic cooperation that would later evolve into the European Union. In terms of technical specifications, the 5 francs 1972 coin was minted in cupronickel, a copper-nickel alloy, as silver had been withdrawn from circulation coins in the 1960s due to rising metal costs and inflation. It weighs approximately 10 grams, measures 31 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge. Its composition made it both durable and resistant to wear, suitable for daily circulation. This coin was minted by the Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, one of the world's oldest minting institutions, established in 864 AD. Depending on the mint mark, some coins were struck at the main Paris facility or at branch mints within the national minting system. Economically, the 5 francs coin had substantial purchasing power in the early 1970s, equivalent to roughly 1 or 2 euros in modern terms. It was widely used in everyday transactions such as buying bread, bus tickets, or newspapers. However, as inflation progressed through the late 1970s and 1980s, its real value declined, and by the time of the euro's introduction in 2002, it had become more of a nostalgic object than a practical currency. The coin remained in circulation until 2001, when the euro officially replaced the French franc at the rate of €1 equals 6.55957 francs. From a numismatic perspective, the 1972 5 francs coin is not considered particularly rare, since millions were produced during that period. However, it retains significant historical and cultural value for collectors. Its appeal lies in its artistic design, the iconic Semeuse motif, and the era it represents, a time when France stood at the crossroads of modernization, industrial growth, and European integration. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition, mint state, marked as FDC or BU, are valued higher by collectors and can sell for several euros or more depending on preservation and rarity of the minting year. Beyond its monetary use, the 5 francs 1972 coin embodies the spirit of the French Republic, a fusion of art, ideology, and practicality. It bridges the ideals of the Third Republic's classical artistry with the Fifth Republic's modern pragmatism. The continued use of Oscar-Rodis Sower design on both coins and later French euro cent coins, especially the 10, 20, and 50-cent denominations, demonstrates how deeply this symbol is embedded in the national consciousness. It signifies continuity across generations, linking the past's agricultural roots with the modern industrial and digital future. In cultural terms, coins like the 5 francs 1972 serve as miniature monuments to French heritage. They pass from hand to hand, silently teaching millions about national symbols and ideals. The motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, born from the revolutionary storm of the 18th century, remained engraved on every French coin for over 2 centuries, making it a living part of the people's daily life. Even after the introduction of the euro, this motto and imagery persist, reinforcing the message that currency is not merely a tool of exchange, but also a vessel of national identity. In conclusion, the République Française 5 francs 1972 coin is far more than a simple monetary artifact. It represents a rich tapestry of history, art, economics, and ideology. Its design reflects France's enduring republican principles. Its materials and minting methods show the evolution of coinage technology, and its widespread use connects it to the lived experiences of millions of citizens. Though now obsolete as legal tender, it remains a beloved collectible and a testament to France's ability to unite beauty, symbolism, and functionality in even the smallest objects. Today, the 5 francs 1972 coin endures as a cherished piece of France's numismatic and cultural legacy, an enduring reminder of a time when the simple act of holding a coin connected one to centuries of struggle, progress, and pride in the ideals of liberté, égalité, fraternité.